Hey you guys, I'm Danica Ferrante from beautyscraps.com, and we're gonna do the second alternative paper pumpkin idea for September 2017. The kit is called Layered Leaves this month, and this is going to be one of those cards that I'm taking you on the designing journey with me. I have an idea in my head, not sure how it's going to turn out, but let me tell you the materials I've got working with so far. So I have a very vanilla card base, a standard size 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I used my Stitched Shapes thin lids die, so those are available in my online store. I used the largest square to cut out a piece of Very Vanilla, and I'm not sure if I'm going to want to layer that with Early Espresso or Cajun Craze, so I already cut both squares so we can kind of see how it looks down the road. But this square measures 2 5/8 square. So I cut these pieces at 2 7/8 square so that there's a nice border there. But let's just get started with the stamping. Sometimes I just like to dive in and see how it all comes together. One of my tools I like to use with photopolymer stamps is my Stampin' Pierce mat, and I just cover that up with a little bit of my scrap grid paper. I probably should change it out right now, but I'm being lazy. You can see remnants of lots of cards on here, but we're going to be stamping off the edge, so I want to use that today. We're going to use the Cajun Craze mini ink pad that came in the kit, and then I have Old Olive from a past paper pumpkin kit too, so we're going to use that with our tiny leaf. That's one of the things that I just love so much about paper pumpkin is you can really build up your ink pad collection and your stamp collection so affordably, because paper pumpkin's just $19.95 a month. So not only do you get those great projects to make every month, but you get those little ink pads that you can use over and over and over again. So I'm going to pretty much fill up this card base with the large leaf in Cajun Craze to create a background. And I'm just going to change up the orientation when I stamp. So that one's pointing down. I'm going to have one pointing up. And I'm going to stamp them pretty close together. Let's do another one going down. I just love this time of year. Fall has to be my favorite season. It's not too cold, it's not too hot, the leaves are changing. It's such a fun time of year. I live in New York, so there's lots of apple picking and pumpkin picking and still fun stuff to do outside. All right, I think I'm gonna do one more Cajun Craze. I'm not even gonna ink up the stamp the whole way because it's gonna be going off. I'm just gonna ink up the top. There we go. We'll close up that ink pad and then we'll do our little leaf in Old Olive. And I'm just gonna use that little leaf to fill in some of those empty spots. So we'll put one right there. Coming in from the side. Make sure to switch up the way that's pointing too. And then maybe maybe just a few coming in from the edges. Super cute. All right, now that we have our background on, here's my idea for the focal point. So I really love to mix and match my other products in with my paper pumpkin kits. And this Painted Harvest stamp set is just gorgeous. It's probably my favorite one in the holiday catalog for fall. The sunflowers are so pretty. It's got that watercolor look. So I really think that's going to be fun to mix in with these leaves. All right, so I'm going to use Daffodil Delight, I think, with this sunflower. So there's a stamp with a more solid image and one with more detail. So we're going to do the more solid one first. I'm just going to test it out on my grid paper. I had to switch it out. It was driving me crazy. It was so busy and super stamped on. So I'm going to stamp it once full strength on my grid paper, and then I'm going to stamp it off because I want like a light look. That might be too light though. Well, let's give it a try. So let's stamp it this way so we have more ink toward the top, I think. You'll see what I mean after I stamp it. And give it a second for the ink to transfer. So here you can see you've got more color toward the top and less toward the bottom. Now, before I ink this guy up, I'm gonna figure out which way it goes so it lines up. It looks like that way. And this set is very forgiving, so you really don't have to line it up perfectly. But I'm thinking Cajun Craze. Like I said, you guys are coming along this designing journey with me. You never know how it's gonna turn out. So I think we'll line it up like that. Give it a press. It's actually really pretty. So there you can see you get that kind of two-tone watercolor look. Let's finish it off with the center. So in the stamp set, you also get two pieces for the center. You get these little tiny dots, and then you get this round circle, which also gives you that watercolor texture. And I think I'm going to do this in Cajun Craze too. Let's see how it looks. I like it. Let's try something else. So we're going to ink it up in Cajun Craze. And then we're going to take our early espresso and kind of go around the edges. Let's stamp that down again. I think I like that even more. Let's go for another one. Just think it gives it a lot of texture there. And then we can go in with our little detailed dots. And do a bunch of those in Cajun Craze. And I'm stamping it multiple times without re-inking. And let's try that with early espresso too, and really build up a lot of texture there in the middle. Give you an up-close look at that. And now I purposely put the part of the stamp that stamps a little lighter toward the bottom because I want to add a sentiment right over that flower. And I think this sentiment that came in that stamp set called Painted Harvest is just so beautiful. It says, "I am thankful for you." And we're going to ink that up in early espresso. And put that right on the bottom, right over the bottom part of the flower. I'm just kind of lining up the word so that the word thankful is straight, looking at that stitched guide through my clear block here. Really pretty. This set is just so gorgeous. It gives you such beautiful, like, watercolor look images with just a stamp. It makes everyone an artist. Love that. All right, guys, so here's where you have to help me out. I don't know. At first, I thought I was gonna like it layered with early espresso more. Normally, I like a higher contrast in my cards. Plus, we use the early espresso in the sentiment and in the center. So I thought that was going to help tie it together. I'm going to pull it in a little closer for you to see. But now that I'm like looking at it, I feel like I do like the Cajun Craze a little more. It's so funny because I neglect Cajun Craze all year long. I never use it. And then once the fall comes, I want to use Cajun Craze on everything. It's just such a gorgeous fall color. So what do you think? Do you vote Cajun Craze? Or are you in the early espresso camp? I'm leaning Cajun Craze, but leave me a comment below. Tell me if you disagree. I always like to know what you guys think looks better. Everybody's got a different aesthetic. So I'm going to use some of my Fast Fuse to adhere that down to my Cajun Craze square. And then since this is such a simple card design, we just stamped on the card base and we're adding that little stamped square. I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals on the back to give it a little bit of pop. I love using Stampin' Dimensionals on everything. Let's just pull those backings off. Put it down right there. Super cute, simple. I love the way this card came out. This Painted Harvest stamp set is just gorgeous. It's absolutely my favorite one for fall. It's available in the holiday catalog, so we never know if that's going to be a limited time only thing or if it might be added to the regular lineup after the holiday catalog is done, but I definitely recommend picking it up now. It's in my online store in the holiday catalog section. And of course, on my coordinating blog post, I will have all the products I used linked right to my online store so you can find them if I have inspired you to do some shopping. And over on my blog, you'll find all of the measurements as well. Definitely contact me if you have any questions. There's a link in the description box below where you can do that. There's also a link to sign up for Paper Pumpkin if you're interested in checking it out. Next month's projects are going to be holiday themed. Actually, October's kit and November's kit are both holiday themed and they're going to coordinate. So I'm so excited to see those. If you have any questions, just contact me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe so you don't miss my next alternative paper pumpkin idea, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye, guys.